script. And when you said
Yeah,
the word
actually,
script, it had a bad reaction with me because I don't script anything in our
will agree
lockdown
to that.
investigations.
Let me say, first of all, I didn't say I didn't go. My words was I don't believe it was that I'm not going to go along with your script. I said it may not be according to your script.
Now, before we get started, I just want to say I'm a huge Ghost Adventures fan, and I support their series on TV. And I mainly watch the show now simply because of the history and the locations. However, I rarely watch the full episodes through its entirety. So this video is not for those Ghost Adventures fans who are too naive to see what's really going on. But I have a lot of built up frustration, and I was planning on doing this video right after the Halloween special, but I just never got around to it. So let's get started. Now, for years I've been seeing articles and interviews about inconsistencies with Ghost Adventures, the show. And as far as the show being fake and fabricated storylines, you know, it's been stuff here and there scattered out, and I personally seen stuff that made me question was the show fake, and I'll do some debunking videos later on about that. So, I'ma dive in and I'ma talk about this Halloween special. And I admit, I thought it would be good only because Zach was hyping it up, especially all this hype around the Dybbuk box. He was on Twitter asking people should he open it and so on, and they were so calculated with all this. I mean, over the summer Zach released some security footage of Post Malone and him messing around with the Dybbuk box. And then we started to see a chain of events that started to happen with Post Malone, from him surviving an emergency landing from an airplane to a serious car crash and his old home being broken into. Me personally, I just believe that all those events were just natural causes and not by the Dybbuk box, but that's just my opinion, like I said. And you know what? It's some people out here that really think the Dybbuk box had something to do with all those events. And now I'll tell you what's strange. Why nothing happened to Zach Bagans? He was the one that physically touched the box. Post Malone just touched Zach. So I don't believe none of that. And I'll tell you what's strange. Zach Bagans using these headlines to take advantage of more ratings and more notoriety. And he did all this for this poor excuse for a Halloween special. And guess what? The Dybbuk box wasn't even open. And I stayed up all night waiting for it. And you know, I had to go to work that next morning, and I was just like, man, I really wasted my time. I wasted my sleep hours watching this Ghost Adventure special that didn't live up to the hype. And I'm like, why did they wait until like 10 p.m. to even start doing stuff with the Dybbuk box? That should have been the very first thing done at 8 p.m. And from a ghost investigator standpoint, and with the box open at that time, the more energy would have been circulating throughout the Haunted Museum, and it could have caused for some better EVPs. We could have seen more apparitions and other objects to be affected and conjured up. But we all know the real reason they waited until 10 o'clock. They waited to make sure you were going to watch throughout the whole 4 hours and not just turn the TV off after the box was open. It's all a business, guys, with the Travel Channel and Zach Bagans. All of this stuff is just so calculated, man. And with this show being live, it was a lot of stuff that was very weird. For instance, did y'all see that big orb that came from under that door? In all my time of watching Ghost Adventures for 10 years, I've never seen an orb like that, and that's from even watching other ghost shows in the past. Clearly, that was fake. And my fellow Ghost Adventure fans, they can't make no excuse for that. That orb was clearly fake. There's no way around it. And I'ma say this, the less people during the investigation, it equals more paranormal activity. And the more people you had during the investigation, equals less paranormal activity. And Zach had at least like 30 people involved with this investigation, and I'm pretty sure it was over 100 fans outside making noise along with the busy highway. I mean, how can you do a legit investigation with all that going on? It was just a circus, man. And don't even get me started with that lady snake woman. It seemed like she wanted to take the show over and be the new star. But the real topic of discussion is that rabbi. That rabbi knew all of this was a joke coming in. They called him, and he really didn't know what was going on. So when he came in the Haunted Museum, he didn't even know where he was going. It was pitch black. And he finally found his way to Zach Bagans. Now, him and Zach was talking back and forth, and Zach was asking him about the Dybbuk box. And he was asking him, is it real dangerous, and can you reseal the demon if it comes out? And the rabbi was like, yeah, I just read up on it today because y'all told me to. And I will say that he didn't really seem that knowledgeable about that, and I could understand Zach Bagans' frustration, but at the same time, Zach Bagans wanted somebody to go along with his script, and that what the rabbi said. He was like, it might be good for your script, but not mine. And I'm paraphrasing, by the way. And after the rabbi said that, Zach Bagans was so pissed off for the rest of the show. And you can tell because Zach had went back into the Dybbuk box room and he was trying to explain what the rabbi was saying, and stuff just wasn't adding up. And Zach was just so pissed. He was just like, everybody just get out. Just get out. Come on, hurry up, get out the room. I was like, oh boy, Zach in one of his moods again. And then the next day or a couple days later, we got an interview with Zach and the rabbi was explaining what he meant by it, in which it could be interpreted a different way, but the way I interpret it was, y'all just brought me in, and I know this is an entertainment show, and I know that all of y'all are actors, and I'm not gonna go along with y'all's script because I really don't know what's going on. That's what I believe the rabbi meant to say. But of course, Zach Bagans probably told him, hey man, don't damage my show with what you said, so let's do a public interview and a public apology for what you said, and then we can go forward from there. And at the end of the day, I don't consider none of these people investigators. That goes for Aaron. You see how he be acting. He hear a voice or anything, he just go crawling on the ground and turning around, looking up and all that, just looking stupid, man. You can tell it's an act. And Zach Bagans, of course, he be acting. Billy and Jay, they be acting, but they don't be over the top like Aaron or Zach. And like I said earlier, I still love to watch the show because of the history portion. But other than that, Ghost Adventures has gone down the drain, man. And I'm not afraid to say that because I feel like I have a right to, because I've been watching this show for 10 years. And, you know, I still like to watch the show. Like I said, I don't want any Ghost Adventure fans to bash me. But I'm just saying, hey, just take a look from a different perspective, man. And just observe the show and just look at it. Some aspects of this show is very fake, y'all, and I'm just trying to get my audience to understand that they are faking a lot of stuff, man. And I got some more videos coming out to prove this. And guys, don't be surprised when Zach Bagans announced that next year's Halloween special, he's definitely opening up the Dybbuk box. So it's just all a bait. Next year he'll get you tuned in, and they're gonna open the Dybbuk box probably the last hour of the show. You know how this Hollywood stuff goes. So yeah, guys, let me know down below, what do you think about this freak show known as Ghost Adventures now? That's what it's turned into. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I want to hear your comments down below. Hit that notification button so you can see every time I upload. And don't forget, man, I'm putting out some Ghost Adventure topics soon. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.